Hello Pisces, welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing and subscribing. So in the first house we have the earth element, which is all about stability. So with the first house, it's everything to do with the self, yourself, your appearance, the first impressions that you make on other people, or just the impressions that you make on other people. It's all self-oriented interests, physical body, observable characteristics. So it's everything that your personality, your vitality. It could also be physical regimes that you're busy undertaking, whether it's working out or some other kind of physical activity, but it's everything to do with the self. So now with the earth element coming in there, it's asking you to stay strong, to pull out your inner strength, and you must be deeply anchored at this time. So stay centered, deeply anchored, deeply rooted, whatever way works for you. But you need to really be honing in on your own inner stability and inner strength. It's also about applying practical wisdom to whatever it is that you're trying to do. So whether this is you perhaps interacting with more people than you usually would, or just with others, you want to come across as self-assured, you want to be methodical, and you want to be patient and organized. So either you're being asked to bring these elements into your life currently, or you may be coming across like this to others. So you're being received as that. You also need to let go of fears and avoid being too fixed in your attitudes and your way of thinking, because this could very well be preventing you from achieving greater things. You need to take action in some way, shape or form, but you need to let go of a few things. You need to let go of perhaps a few attitudes or sort of fearful beliefs, because action is required. It's also going to be very good for you to be spending time in nature. So it's a very earthy element, this. You also may need to let go of a few materialistic things, or just let go of a few things that just are not helping you really at this time. You may also have to prove yourself in some way, shape or form going forward. So if that is the case, then you really are going to need to sort of hold on to your inner strength and actually come across as being self-assured, because you want to put your best foot forward really at this time. Then in the second house we have the air element, which is all about communicating. So now the second house deals with your money, your income, and it's also to do with your possessions, what you own, like real estate, your property, your land, if you own land. It's also about your self-worth and your values. So with the air element in there, you may just need to speak up about something. You may need to just put your words. Your words are going to be very important at this time. So you need to perhaps ask. Perhaps you're not feeling that you're getting the remuneration that you need for work that you are doing, or something like that, and you need to speak up about it. But it's also about thinking things through first before you take action, or before you embark on a new path, because a new path could very well come up for you in some way to do with the second house. So it's avoid making emotional decisions. This will be a challenge for you because you are a water sign, and Pisces are very in tune with their emotions, and they go by sense. So it may be difficult for you to do that, but you need to be objective. You need to detach and just avoid making emotional decisions at this time, because this requires clear thinking. And you need to put into words what it is that you are thinking about. So whether this is a monetary plan, or it's something to do with something that you're wanting to actually take ownership of, or it could just be perhaps you want to get clarity on your own particular set of values and your self-worth. Perhaps you need to do some sort of like a gratitude journal or just something to manifest your thoughts as well, because it is about that. You also need to get clear about what your goals are. And your thoughts and words are very, very important. So what you think and what you say are going to determine a lot of things for you, what you can manifest. So if you're thinking and speaking positively, then that is what will manifest for you. So you also need to be honest with yourself about what your goals are, what you expect from life, what you want for yourself. As I said, it may just be speaking up about what you want and to improve your income in some way. But just have a think through first. Perhaps you're wanting to make decisions monetarily as well. All of those, perhaps put it down on paper, go through it, work out a plan. But communication is going to be very important. Your words are going to be very important. And we have words coming up again. This is now in your actual third house. This is the house of communication. So again, thinking and words are coming in. So with this, your third house is, as I said, everything to do with communication, but it's written, verbal, it's your body language, it also deals with contracts and documents, and also speaking with others on a bigger scale, but also with your aunts and your uncles and your cousins and siblings. So there may be some issue, a family issue, which is coming up as well. It's asking you to be mindful, to really pay attention, as I said, to your words and what's being said, and what is going down on paper, the words and how the contracts or documents are laid out and so on. So you need to be able to communicate with versatility. So you need to be versatile about how you express yourself. But you also need to listen, because this is something that Gemini needs to harness for themselves, is to learn to listen as well as speak, because they're very verbal. So, but listening is equally important, because once you've listened, then you can really formulate what it is you want to say, instead of jumping in first and just blurting something out. Also, you might hear of gossip, or you don't allow yourself to be dragged into that, or just avoid any gossipy conversations, or perpetuating a gossipy tale. Just steer clear of all of that, because that could come in for you as well. You may have to talk your way into something or out of something, and you could also be in two minds about something. Perhaps you're wanting to purchase something, or you're wanting to you've got a contract or some sort of document which you need to finalize. But it's about absorbing what is being said there and taking it in, and then making a decision necessarily. It could also be about finishing what you start. So if you've got something pending, finish it. And you could be multitasking. That's another Gemini trait. Also, technology may come in for you, because this falls under this sign. You could be having to upgrade something, or you could be having to use a different form of technology to communicate to others. The third house also covers short journeys. So this is local trips, and it's going to be very good for you to do that, because with Gemini energy, you could be feeling quite restless. And you may just want to get out and make sure it's interesting and it piques your curiosity. Get out and about and go and enjoy lots of different activities. Perhaps just enjoy going out with a friend and enjoy sort of chatting about whatever you feel like. But it's interesting trips that you could take. Also check your car, your vehicle, because that all comes under Mercury rules Gemini, and Mercury rules all electronics, technology and vehicles. So if you're going to embark on a trip locally, just check that your spare tire is pumped up, and that if there's any kind of niggling situation, that you address it, so that you are fully able to undertake that trip with freedom and without any worries. Then in the fourth house, we have South Node, which is life's debts. So this sounds very ominous, and it can be, but really what the South Node is all about is actually dealing with the past. Let go of the past. So now it's falling in your fourth house, which is everything to do with your home, your actual physical home, your home life, and your early, your where you came from, your ethnic identity, your foundation, your early family foundation, and your roots. So now with this card coming in, it could be to do with that. Perhaps you need to let go of issues around your ethnic identity, or issues around your early, your foundation, your roots, where you actually come from your actual family. There may be issues there that you actually need to let go of now, put to rest and move forward, because you need to move forward. The South Node is dealing with, is actually putting the past to bed, to deal with it, so that you can move forward into your life purpose. The North Node covers your life purpose, what you came here to do this time around on this planet. And with the South Node, it's a karmic thing. So if you're into past lives, you could be dragging a bit of baggage, or a few problems from, or just issues from previous lifetimes, and now you need to deal with them, because once you deal with them and close them off, end those cycles, then you can move forward, and then really your life starts to take off. You get on mission, you actually find your path, and a whole lot of things. So it also could just be dealing with issues from the past. So now release. It's also about releasing what is not useful to you, or what does not make you happy. So this is actually within your home. This could be physical things within your home. It could be family heirlooms. It could be old furniture, or it could be old things that have been passed down to you, which really, for whatever reason, you've got negative emotions attached to that, to those items. Pass them on, recycle them to somebody, or just sell them off, but release them now, because it's kind of holds you down. It blocks your energy in your home. You need to free things up, and actually once you free up that energy, move it on, then you create space for new things, the things you really want to come into your life. This is hugely important in a home, particularly. So it could also be that you have things in your home which just are blocking you in general. Perhaps you've got broken items, clutter, things that you just are not helpful to you now. So tackle them, take action, and actually get rid of it, because you will feel lighter and lighter and much better, and a lot of things may just clear up and sort themselves out. You want to welcome your new path. You want to welcome better things. And you can only do that if you're freeing space up for yourself. It's also about working towards finishing or resolving matters. So this could be a physical home issue, or it could be an old family issue. It could be something to do with the actual structure of your home. Perhaps you're trying to renovate and it's just not working. There's issues that have got to be sorted out. It's actually about taking action and actually addressing it and dealing with it and sorting it out. Don't let things pile up and build up around you. Taking this action, or starting on this new, clearing the path, clearing your home to make way for better things is not. It won't be easy. But you will feel out of your comfort zone. You will feel a bit uncomfortable, but it's necessary. It's very necessary in order for you to get on path, get on mission, and sort your surroundings out. It could also be it's some sort of turning point to do with your home, or to do with, as I said, old family issues, or sort of your identity. And it's also about preparing for what's next. So in order to prepare for what's next, for what's better, then you must deal with what is there already and dispatch those items, or those things, or those emotions, or those old issues. Dispatch them now. This is also related to your first house, which we already covered, in which we said that it's about pulling on your inner strength, but it's also about letting go of fears and attitudes, and taking action to let go of certain things. It's coming up again now in your fourth house. So I do feel this is possibly old family things, heirlooms, something like that. But it's about finishing and resolving matters now. Then in the fifth house, we have Chiron, healing. So the fifth house is everything to do with your it's children, if you've got children. It's also to do with, it's the house of creativity, so it's your creative projects. These are not necessarily artistic. Being artistic and being creative are not the same. So this is just your own particular brand of creativity. You could speak creatively. You could arrange your home creatively. There's lots of ways that you can bring creativity in. It could just be the way you work and so on. So, or just the way you engage with your children. So it's about, as I said, it's about creativity. It's about children. It's also the house of love affairs. And it's the house of recreation, all kinds of having fun, recreational activities, sports, anything like that, or even gambling, any kind of recreational activity where you're out and about, and it's a sort of something that you do in your spare time. So now with Chiron and healing, basically what it means is that healing is required before progress can be made. So this can be occurring for you in a number of ways. If it's to do with your children, possibly your children, on a really practical level, could be a physical healing if they're busy with sports or some kind of activity. They may need to undergo some kind of healing, which could be chiropractic if it's skeletal. It could be homeopathy. It's all natural remedies, all natural therapies fall under this. And it can also be medicine. So there may just be something like that, which has to occur before progress can be made. Or it could just be deep emotional healing, whether it's yours and your interaction with your children, or whether it's your children. So that all falls under this house. Under this card. So deep wounds, any deep wounds, whether they're physical or emotional or both. You need to look at it. You really need to focus on it. You can't sweep these things under the rug because it won't help you move forward. So you need to look at it and just deal with it. And you may be wanting to visit healing centers as part of your recreation. You may be wanting to sort of go to like thermal baths or just some kind of healing center where you can you or your children can receive levels of healing, even if it's natural healing, which is going to be conducive for them. As I said, and some of those may even go hand in hand, because homeopathy works on all levels, physical, emotional, spiritual, it works on all of it. So it really is a multi-purpose healing modality. Most natural therapies cover a great many aspects. So there's a lot of that to be looked at. You could also be sort of transforming old patterns. Perhaps, as I said, there's a kind of a clearing out of the old all around in your chart at the moment. So it's about dealing with the past, old things that just don't serve you, old patterns, old ways of doing things, and moving forward. It could also be that you or your children are embarking on some sort of learning about the healing arts, or just the sports of some kind. It's a recreational activity, so it's everything that goes on with that. But possibly it's also about how to be part of a team and how to work together. And, you may have old childhood memories of difficulties when you were at school and so on, and you can assist your children with that, how to deal with loss, how to deal with working in a team, how to be gracious in learning. There's lots of ways that this can come in. But watching your children progress and making and being happy will bring you deep healing as well. So there's lots of ways that this can manifest. This may also cover learning and teaching. So either you and your children are learning, or your children are learning, and then there's also teaching involved. So you may be able to teach others through your wisdom, and wisdom through pain. Basically, that's what Chiron is: wisdom through pain. And you may also be able to, if it's a creative project that you're working on currently, this is about taking something ordinary and transforming it into something extraordinary. So it's drawing on deep wisdom. It could be to do with nature as well, perhaps reproducing something to do with nature in a creative form. All of that comes in. If it's a love affair, again, all the aspects I've just been talking about will also apply to a love affair. You may be involved with somebody who has to go through deep healing before your relationship can really take off, or you may have to go through healing, or you both may have to, or maybe you're coming together in order to bring about healing in each other. So there's many ways that can manifest, but it all applies in the 5th house. Then in the 6th house, we have a very supportive card. We have Sun Spirit. Your 6th house is everything to do with your work projects, your workplace, your colleagues, and your daily routines. It's to do with health and diet, and also pets. So with the Sun Spirit coming in, it's a lovely influence to be having. So it's vitality, it's life force. It's dynamic, it's very influential. So you could be actually having this influence on others. You could be really bringing your life force and your vitality into your workplace, and being incredibly dynamic and influential in how you're going about your work, or how you're leading a project, because this is about leadership as well. It's about leadership and taking and sort of leading people, inspiring people onwards to complete projects, or just to start something new. You will also could very well be in the spotlight. So you're being noticed for your contribution. So whether that's on a team project or just yourself, but it's about being in the limelight, and people are actually watching what you're doing. So therefore, with that, you are in a position of leadership, and it's about being organized, being mature, and also having integrity. Because if you are in the spotlight and you're being recognized for that, then you need to handle that with grace as well, and maturity. So it's about, yes, being confident, but not overly confident. So there's ways to handle that. If you're looking for timing of something, it could be summer, when the sun is at its strongest. So something may come to fruition in summer, or something you are working on may come to you in that time. It's also could be possibly a second chance coming to you to do with your work projects as well. It's a very positive card, very energetic, action-oriented card. If it's to do with your health, you should be feeling quite alive, sort of spirited, and feeling good. But also, if it's not, then it's taking action to improve your health. It could be heart issues, lung issues, liver, or if you really are overdoing things, really, pulling out all the stops, and you don't want to exhaust yourself. But you could also be swallowing things, and that leads to heartburn. So that could come up possibly. But I feel it's a positive influence that's coming up for you, and that can spill over into many other areas of your life. It's a positive aspect coming for you at this time. Then in your 7th house, which is the house of relationships, this is the house of close personal one-on-one relationships, whether it's a love partner or your business partnership. It's that kind of one-on-one relationship. With the moon soul in there, this can cover a great many aspects of that. The 7th house also covers legal issues. It's the lower courts. So what this is bringing in for you is a lot of intuition, instinct, high emotion. So lots of deep feelings. It could also be deep love and wisdom as well. So this card also brings in feeling safe, or striving for safety within your partnership. It's also the feminine principle. So you could be, if you're not in a relationship, or the other business partnership doesn't apply to you, then it could be a close other personal relationship, but there's feminine overtures in here. So it's either a feminine influence, or you are getting in touch with your divine feminine, your deeper feminine issues, and sort of the feminine aspects, which is being receptive, and so on. So you can do a bit of research on that and perhaps home in on that for yourself to really activate your divine feminine. And that can be for a male or a female. We all have divine feminine, we all have divine masculine. So it's about looking at that. So if you are in a current relationship, it could be deep love and wisdom that you're bringing in, or you're feeling in this relationship. It's very emotional. You could be feeling shy, but you're going to be bringing in all those intuitive feelings. It could also be secrets. It could be a secret affair, a secret relationship, or there are secrets in the relationship that may come out. There's a bit of mystery there. So you may be involved with somebody that, it's a clandestine affair. There's also things may not be how they seem. So if you're feeling uncomfortable for some reason, because that's the other side of this, there's got wonderful positive emotions coming in, but it could also be, you could be feeling a bit uncomfortable. But just wait it out, because things are not what they seem. That there's a kind of, with the moon, there's a kind of things can be clouded and unclear. So until the mists clear, just stick with things at the moment. Be on the alert, be receptive, and be intuitive, but just wait a bit. There's also, you may just feel like you're drifting a little bit as well. Perhaps deeper issues need to be discussed or talked about. Because communication is really coming through really clearly for you as well. You could be feeling a little bit insecure, or you could be clinging, or your partner could be clinging. But there's all kinds of self-protective issues that come up with this card as well. It could be a really deep soul connection. There's lots of ways this can come through. The other aspect of this is that someone could be coming back to you from the past. So this could be somebody you've known before, didn't work out then, perhaps they're coming back again. And it's all about that as well. It's about finding wisdom in that. What didn't work before? How can we make it work this time? And how much do you really want this person in your life? Perhaps there was a secret before that wasn't revealed, and now you find out what went down or what happened. There might have been a bit of mystery, and now it gets resolved. There's lots of ways this can come about. Or, as I said, you could just be feeling a little bit insecure because it didn't work the first time, and now you're in it again, and you're just not sure. So the other way this can manifest is that the person may have issues, addiction issues or substance abuse issues, and that made you uncomfortable before, or it's making you uncomfortable now. You've got to look at it. Any one of these aspects could be coming in for you at this time in those relationships. And carrying on from that, in the 8th house, this is the house of deeper committed relationships. The material and emotional resources between you, the joining of those, the merging of those. So if you are, if you're tracking a relationship, possibly the relationship started out as a love affair, and there was deep healing required there between you, or with the other person, or with yourself. So let's just say that possibly could have been happening, that it started out as a love affair, then it went to a much deeper relationship, which is covered by the 7th house. This is a much deeper, more committed relationship. And now you move into the next phase, which is the joining of your lives, the joining of your resources. So it can follow that path. It can easily follow that path. Or it could be... It could also be the deeper commitment in your. It may not have been something from the past, or this could just be your current relationship that you're in, and now you're taking it to the next level, and now you're having to actually sort of bring your resources together, and there may be all kinds of issues around that. So it's joining resources between committed partners or business partnership. It's also about other people's money. The eighth house also rules big finance, like investments, insurance, tax, inheritances, legacies, banking and accounting. So if we go back to your third house, if you've got heirlooms or possessions that are coming in through to you, and also it was in your fourth house of home, if you've got things coming to you from some kind of inheritance or legacy, as I said, it's tied up with that. There's deeper financial implications with this as well, and also deeper emotional issues around that, or legalities around that. So the eighth house deals with big finance and inheritances, legacies, that sort of thing. It's also the house of sex, death, and rebirth. So if we're going back to the relationship, if you've got a deeper relationship and you're now going to the next level, this can be really a powerful coming together, but it requires some kind of negotiation or transformation of how you have each been living your lives and how you want to join together. And this can be a business partnership as well. So it's dealing with deeper issues there, whether it's emotional or material. Or it could be that you're already in an existing relationship and it's somehow going through a rejuvenation. Your sexual power and all of that is coming back into the relationship. So there's a rebirth of some kind there, a renewal, a regeneration. So possibly you went through difficulties and now you're actually managing to connect on a much deeper level. Or it could be just moving your finances to the next level. But there's financial implications, there's legal implications with this house. So passion, sex, power, all of these things are indicated. It's also old to new. So old things are changing to open, making way for new things. There could be some kind of ego death, and now you're transforming that and you're lifting the relationship up, or your relationship with money is being lifted up. As I said, there's renewal, there's rebirth. Things also may come to the surface. So now secrets or things that were hidden came up in your seventh house of relationships, and it may come up again here. So because Pluto rules the underground, everything that's hidden, anything that's under the surface, good or bad, technically, I mean, all things serve a purpose. So how you view it, how your attitude to that, which came up in your first house, your attitude to things may require some sort of transformation. But whatever is under the surface will come out. So that will have to be dealt with as well. It's an intense influence to be having. There may be endings and beginnings. As I said, something old falls away for something new, or just something may end and something new will begin. Doors may open. There's some kind of new path as well. There will be financial changes of some sort, whether it's you amalgamating with another, or transforming how you have done things before. And if you are working with other people's money as part of your profession, some kind of transformation is required. So just be careful with the financial side of things as well, because as I said, things hidden can come out. Avoid, if it's to do with a deeper relationship, avoid manipulation and control. Those tendencies may come out in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, this is quite an intense card, and it's linking to others in your chart, so you can see how that will manifest for you. Then in the ninth house, we have Saturn return. So now this is, the ninth house is everything to do with international travel, sort of adventure and exploration. It's also the house of higher learning. So this is university education or adult education, courses you want to take, and so on. And it's also about religion, philosophy. It's the house of publishing and public relations, and it's the house of teaching as well. So teaching has come up before. Earlier on it came up. Learning came up before. So you may be, when we talked about your creativity earlier on, you may need to undertake a course of study to to improve some creative skill which you're learning, or you want to improve something, and it may come up here again. But whatever it is, with Saturn return, this implies it's a return, so it means harnessing the wisdom through experience, the wisdom that you've gained through your past experiences. Saturn usually has two major returns, one at the age of about 29 and one at about 60. From 58 onwards, you should start feeling it. So it depends where you are in your life, but Saturn return is about the past coming back to you in some way, shape, or form. So if you have really in your past sown lots of seeds, and being responsible about your actions and so on, then you can expect to sort of reap benefits now. But if there were some issues you perhaps didn't handle correctly, or you weren't able to handle as well as you'd hoped, will come back again for revision. So, but it's applying your wisdom and your experience now. That's what's required of you. So however you can use that energy. You may have to move past difficulties that you had before. So if you had issues at school, or perhaps in your early education, and now you want to embark on a further study, it's about applying yourself now as you are now, but taking into consideration what happened before and how can you improve on it. It's that kind of energy. It's also if you planned to publish or write something beforehand, or earlier on, or at some other time in your life, and now you want to do it again, it's about applying your wisdom and your experience now to how you want things to be now. But it's understanding as well. It's understanding about the past and how it can come back to affect you. So you will be compelled to take action in any one of those ninth house aspects. You may feel like time is running out, but it is really about taking action. So there will be a few difficulties. There will be difficulties at this time with any one of those areas, but you need to keep going and do not give up. Just keep applying effort to correct anything that has suddenly you've suddenly realized it wasn't solid, or the foundation wasn't correct, or something that you embarked on just wasn't the right thing. It wasn't built on solid ground. So Saturn will come along and basically dismantle anything which is not solid in your life. So so you may need to just take action and correct something which you feel is not built on solid ground. I mean, this could be a university education that you're wanting to undertake, or some kind of course. But always Saturn is trying to bring you to a point of solid achievement. You can't have achievement if it's built on shaky ground. It's got to be from a place of realism and a solid foundation. So you've got to be realistic as well. You need to also let go of what is not working for you. So this could be your beliefs as well, your religious beliefs, or things that you thought, how you thought things were, your attitudes from before and now changing. So you're now looking at things really from quite a different angle altogether, because you're older, you've got more wisdom. If it's to do with international travel, I feel with a Saturn return, you may travel, but it will be somewhere that you're going back to, possibly, or you may just have aspirations to travel, but you may not be able to do that just at the moment. So then you've got to, it could be that you need to actually work towards that in some way, shape, or form, but it's going to take you time to put the building blocks in place first. It's slow progress as well with a Saturn return. Things won't happen quickly or overnight. Then in the 10th house, you have a very supportive card. You have Jupiter abundance. So this is everything to do with your career, your reputation, your status, your public status, your fame. It's also to do with authority figures. So it's what you're aspiring to in your life, what you look up to, what you're aiming for, your ambitions. So now with Jupiter abundance, this is a wonderful influence to be having in that aspect of your life. So you may just find that in your career, doors are opening, or you may just get, it's basically yes. If you've asked a question about something to do with your career or your fame or your public status, you could be going from one sort of, you may be single and becoming married. So that is a form of abundance if marriage is what you want. So it's something that you want in your life, and it's almost like it's a yes, it's coming to you. So, or it could just be that you receive this, the success that comes from work that you've put in. So it's earned luck, basically. So if you're aiming for, to elevate your position in society in some way, then this is going to bring success for you, or abundance in some form. Or it could just be a career aspect for you where you are, doors are opening, opportunities are coming to you. It's good fortune, it's abundance. Abundance can manifest in many, many ways. It's not necessarily money. It's lovely if it is money, but it can also be an incredible mentor or a very helpful authority figure. Or it could be some legal assistance or law enforcement that comes to your aid in some way. It could also be just incredible faith and strength when you really need it. It could be a sense of purpose. So it could just be support as well from people around you. So abundance can take, as I said, can take many forms. But with Jupiter, the opportunities come up quickly. So you need to grab them, explore all the possibilities and take action. Don't let it pass you by. Don't become complacent or get carried away with lots of things, wonderful things happening to you, and just think, oh, I can just sit back now and let things roll over me. No, you still need to actually apply effort and to steer the ship, because an opportunity will come in, or opportunities will come in. You need to harness them. You've still got to actually bring it home. You've still got to ground those benefits for yourself. You need to bring those benefits towards you. So they'll come in, but you need to actually hook them in and make them work for you as well. So there's it's just a really lucky and beneficial influence to be having at this time in those aspects of your life. And then following on from that, we've got Mars force. So with the possibly with the career advancement or opportunities that are coming to you in all of those 12th house issues, Mars comes in. Mars brings force. This is coming in to your 11th house, which deals with your personal hopes and wishes, your hobbies and your interests. It's also about your networks, your friendships and your associations, your clubs, your societies, groups, any groups that you're a member of. This could be social groups as well, because this also, the 11th house also deals with social reform. It also deals with global consciousness. So it could be some wider interest which you are needing to take action on. It could also just be a personal interest that you have that you now want to move forward, especially if you've got Jupiter coming in for your life purpose and for your ambitions. There may be something, a personal hope or dream or a hobby or an interest, which is going to be very beneficial for you. And in your 6th house, as I said, you had the Sun, which is your work project. So you could be, all of these things are linked. So now with Mars coming into this house, it's a very passionate sign. It's a very passionate planet. It's take action. So with Mars, it's very passionate, action-oriented sign. It's a very it's about gathering momentum. So this is about taking action on something to do with your 11th house. So this could be perhaps your networks, the people that you're associating with, your contacts within a group, or it could be an interest that you have in a group which is to deal with global consciousness or social reform. It's action, it's passion, it's following your passions. It's actually an energetic aspect as well. The the other side of it could be a sports interest that you're possibly involved in as well, because that's a group thing. It's not necessarily solitary, but this could be to do with a group that you're involved in. Possibly it's a sports group or some association that you're a member of. But the other side of this influence is also with Mars, that you might have to defend yourself in some way. So you could be experiencing sort of aggression or just a challenge from somebody else, and you've got to now defend your position, or you've got to protect your interests. You may have to fight for what you want. You may have to compete in some way. So that's why I say with sports coming in, or it could just be in an association. Perhaps your position is being challenged. There's lots of ways that can come in, but it's either action and momentum is gathering for something that you're involved in, and it's a harnessing of your ambitions, which has already been activated in your 10th house, or it could be that you are receiving a challenge in some way, shape, or form. So this could be even from a friendship, or you could be seeing a friend going through this. Or you may need to inspire a friendship or help them move ahead in some way. Or you could be inspiring your friendships. There's lots of ways that can come in. Or it could be in a group setting, or in with a more than one person. This is a group or an association, networking, networks. Or it could be a personal hope or an ambition, or something a hobby that you're wanting to really take off now. So this is going to give you some impetus there. Then in the 12th house we have Pisces, I believe. So this is, you're well acquainted with this, being a Piscean yourself. So now with this coming into your 12th house, the 12th house is your house. That is your home house, and Pisces, I believe. So this is, for me, I feel with the 12th house, it's everything to do with sort of your deeper spiritual life, meditation, mysticism. It's also about healing. Healing came up for you earlier on in your 5th house. It's also about addictions, escapism of all kinds, any kind of escapism, whatever does it for you. It's about retreat and withdrawal. So spending time in quiet on your own, or with others, but in sort of deep reflection. It's your unconscious drives, your unconscious beliefs, and so on. So now with the Pisces card, I believe, appearing in there, I feel it's about having faith in the divine, or the divine plan, or in the universe, or in God, or whatever is for you. But it's finding your faith, and it's also having faith in yourself. So that needs to be to come up for you, or you need to just find it again, or you could just be really feeling yourself, feeling feeling good as you are in yourself. Or you could be required to pull that out of yourself, to face a few other issues that you've got here going on, it's about finding your peace as well, just surrendering to the greater plan, surrendering to the divine timing, or to the divine plan. It's also about, it could also be that you are experiencing a surge in your spirituality, or your psychic connection, your psychic abilities. It's also, it could be that as well coming in for you, really tuning in deeply. It's also about compassion, having compassion for yourself and having compassion for others, which also came up in your house of children, and possibly love affair in your relationship as well. So it could be that you're harnessing that. It could also be that you may need to put in boundaries. Again, that came up in your relationship houses. So you may need to just reaffirm your boundaries. If you've lacked that, or you haven't really been good at that before, well, you need to explore that on a deeper level. Put your boundaries in so that you can have some kind of benchmark for yourself. It's also about, if you have any addictions or you know others that have addictions, it's about dealing with those as well, finding the healing to do with that. Because the 12th house also deals with your experiences, or you going with a friend or somebody that you know into an institution of some kind. So that could be a hospital, or it could be some kind of healing institution, or it could be a university, because that also came up earlier. Possibly it's to do with that. It could also be a government institution, or a banking institution, or a library. Maybe you're going into the library to research things, or maybe you're studying something new and you need to actually now go and source documents to do with it. So it could be that as well. Also, this brings in the arts and music. So you could be pulling that out of yourself, perhaps. It's something that you can go and do and enjoy, perhaps learn a bit more about it, undertake a course, or explore a course of study. Think about it, see what you want to do, try different things. It could also be just enjoying music to uplift you and to really enjoy some quiet time and reflection time. It could just be enjoying musical concerts, or something like that. But music is indicated, the arts are indicated, so that's poetry, writing, all of those kinds of activities. This also can bring in service to others, because the 12th house is the house of service. So possibly you may be being in the position of service to a friend, or service to a family member, or service to the greater community. That may also be coming in for you as well. Okay, Pisces. I hope you have a great month, and I will see you next time, and take care.